Hi, Primas.
Hola, we're back.
We're back with another episode. I'm Gladys,
And I'm Christy.
and this is Dear
Dear
Primas.
Primas.
How are you? How's everybody? How are you, my prima? How are the primas?
I know. You want to get into it first? You can start with how you are. What's been happening in the Bermudez household?
Um, I mean, not too much. We did start potty training. Antonio. Yeah, well, technically yesterday was one full day of potty training, and the other day was like half of a day ish. And he's doing really good. Like yesterday, the full day, he only had 2 accidents, and that was one of them was during his a little friend came over playtime, and it's so funny they both one had an accident because she's potty trained, she's a week older than him, and then he did it right after, so I'm like, okay, what's going on? I'm marking territory here, but he had gone the whole day, and so that's good. And he's not struggling with number 2. I hear that's a big issue sometimes. And I feel like he's more, I don't know, I feel like he could feel that one easier. I don't know. But today, no accidents so far. And we're almost, a third through the day. And yesterday during his long nap, he didn't wet his diaper. I put a diaper on him.
Oh, that's good. Didn't you wake him
nap.
up and put him right on the toilet?
Yes, yeah. And he did.
Smart.
But he's on his own terms. I'll be like, do you need to go potty? Let's go potty. No. And then all of a sudden he goes, I go potty. And then he just goes by himself. He goes and he will go. Or sometimes I think he'll feel like if he farts, he needs to go just in case, which, I mean, okay. But all the times that he's gone, has been without us in the room. He's just I go. So, and we're doing the no pants method. Just let it all hang out for now.
Yep.
And so it's working, I think. We'll see.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel
like
what's up.
even John currently, who is completely potty trained, will still go at the very last minute and be like,
yeah,
I gotta go.
Yeah.
So I don't know
I
if
think
they
that's
ever grow out of that.
me as an adult too, we're
True.
more capable of holding it. That's the difference. But yeah, I mean,
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that'll be nice. No more double diapering, And so hopefully it keeps working out. So
yeah.
And then Sandy is next door right here. So that's why I keep looking that way, everybody.
He's back. He just wanted to hang out with the Primas.
Yes.
Over here we still have torn Achilles. No, actually it's not torn anymore. It's now put together because he had surgery. So yeah. But still struggling with that.
Scooting around.
We are also in the process of building a pool, and that's my only request in the summertime is I just need to be by a body of water. Would I like to be by a beach body of water for the full summer? Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll take what we can get.
I know. So why not have one in my backyard? But I think the big thing was we lived in a rental that had the pool, and the boys used it all the time. But that being said, we did start Bella and Jaden only because Jaden is not comfortable. He's doggy paddling when he's in a pool. But we started them both back into swim lessons.
Nice.
So Bella hated it.
Oh no, really?
She cried the whole time. Mama.
Oh, Bella.
All done.
But they're just in there with the instructor, not with y'all, right? Or
Yeah, no. We do the one-on-one with the instructor. Good friend of ours in the neighborhood swam at a university and does it full time now in the summers, and she does it right out of her backyard. And yeah, nice. Jaden did the same thing whenever he first started, cried the whole time.
Yeah,
I had to walk away too, so he didn't even see me.
Yeah.
We'll see how Bella does. She seems to. She hates the bath, and whenever I pour water over her head.
Oh, okay.
I knew I was expecing her to hate it. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see how she does next week.
Eventually. But we hadn't got Antonio into a body of water in a while, since he's more aware of what's actually going on. And we took him to the pool Memorial Day weekend at my in-laws, and he loved it. And I did the dunk, how
Dunking.
we used to do it in his little, and he was just But I told him because I practiced in the bathtub, like, because at first he didn't care if the water, but then he started like not cry, or he'd be like, no, 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 but he would still do it. And then he would be like, ugh. And I'm like, that's the opposite. You like close your mouth. So I would like practice, like, okay, close your mouth. And of course, sometimes he would do it, but on the second one, he would really like, he would do it more. And so when I dunked him, he just like, okay, take a break. I take a break, and then he had to take 5 on the swim steps. But he was like loving the pool, like in the
Oh,
floaty, of course, when we had him at
yeah.
first. But he was just like he had like a nerve, and he's like nervously scared, which is good. I'm like, I don't want you to be overly confident, like.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so, but he loved it. He didn't want to get out. He was in there till like it got dark. But Bella hopefully will come around,
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So, because we're gonna take another trip again in July to
Where are y'all
Florida.
going? Okay, okay. Oh, like
We're gonna,
the
yeah,
driving,
yeah,
similar to
yeah.
what y'all did the other time, really?
Not as
Oh, that's
long. We're not going as far. We're not going to the other side. But we're going to the same Anna Maria Island where our friend has parents have a condo.
oh, that's
So,
amazing. Okay,
yeah.
that's the
So
one
we'll.
that you said in July.
Yeah, and so
Okay,
Adrian's planning all
okay.
that out right now. Like we want to do like no more than 5 hours driving a day. Total, like not at
Super
once,
smart.
just total.
Yeah.
And so he thinks I'm talking to him. He's just making all these cooing noises and smiling. um, and so we'll see. I will say, although Santi is a little good angel baby, he is not as great in the car as Antonio. Like he likes the car seat, but if he's hungry, he doesn't care. He's going to
Yeah.
cry.
Yeah.
Antonio, as soon as he hit that car seat, I mean, he was like knocked out he
Yeah.
could be knocked out for like 3 hours on end, like skip a meal. So we'll see. It'll be interesting, but
You
we're
know,
gonna
we
attempt
never
it.
really got into your travel experience the first time.
Yeah.
Like you didn't really map it out how I wish you would have, like
Oh
just said,
yeah.
and then to
That's
what you packed. So you really have to get on
yeah.
it this
Well,
time.
I think because that was the first. Yeah. Well, I didn't recap it when we going. I was really just like, I don't know yet, right? I don't want to talk
Yeah,
about it because I don't know how it's gonna go.
right,
But I feel
right.
like this time, I think, yeah, I can plan that out a little bit better for sure and
Are y'all
do.
ending in, or not ending, but middle Miami, like meeting his family there again?
No, no, no,
That,
no. We're
okay,
just
so not
going
going
to
all the
Anna
far
Maria.
down.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
We
okay.
may go to Naples for like 2 days, which is from where we're staying. So Anna Maria, oh my God, my nails are really bad. uh, I popped them off.
Whoopsies, whoopsies.
I know. So from Anna Maria Island to this place called Naples, it's like 3 hours, I think. And we
Okay,
do
okay.
want to go to Naples, but so then from Naples is like the middle point to Miami,
Yeah.
but I don't think we need to do all that. I do just we'll just turn right back around and go
Okay.
because I think we have the condo rented for 2 weeks, but we'll still like potentially get like 2 nights or a night somewhere else just so we can drive to a different beach, a different area. Um, you know how we do.
I was gonna say, so
uh,
if you haven't pretty much listened to our like travel episode, this was way back when we would still do the karaoke, like that whole
yeah.
spiel. But if you haven't yet, the difference between Gladys traveling versus my vacationing is
Yeah.
extremely different. We don't bop around. They thrive on the bopping.
Yeah, and sometimes I have to remind Adrian like we have 2 kids. We can't just be jumping around. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Y'all always go
but
into it
yeah.
though with a good like mindset, and I don't know, it sometimes always works out better that way.
Yeah, no, I do enjoy it. And especially when it was just us two, like it was fine. But even then, I would have to like our honeymoon. I had to tell him like, I need 2 chill days of doing nothing by the
Yeah,
beach,
yeah, yeah,
and that was out of like 16 days. So, even though we would get to a beach, but there's always like, some
yeah.
way we had to walk through a freaking beach of rocks or full of seashells for like half a mile before we got to this beautiful beach. It's always worth it. It's just like, all right, gotta, what's the word? Like, see it through. I gotta see it
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
Trust him. And he's the one that plans everything and
Plan.
he's looking, so I'm just along for the ride. But yeah, so that's a little catch up.
Exciting.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
July.
Yeah.
Okay, so we still have
Yes.
a month to record.
Yeah. I know. It's happening
Um,
fast.
I know. Well, and we would be so good about like doing two at once or three at once. We're gonna get better at it. We'll
Yeah.
get on it.
Well, we're working around a lot of people's schedules here,
A
so
lot of little obstacles.
yeah.
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 Um,
But
but yeah,
today,
oh
yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, you do it. No,
No. We're just gonna
you
talk
wanna
about
go?
personality types. Yeah, no, we're just gonna talk about personality types, type A, type B, type C. Get a little bit into like how what they are, what
Mm-hmm.
we identify as, right? What we most relate to, and then see maybe what you guys are, what y'all think you guys are. And we're just getting into all those things today.
Yep.
And how
Yep.
like I think briefly like I feel like just because you're one way like in your personal life versus your career versus your now if you're a parent, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
all of those maybe they can be in different avenues, right? Like it's a little bit different and also a little bit the same. Like there's some traits that for sure will um be a common factor in all of them, but I
Yeah,
think it'll be a fun topic to talk about.
I agree. I agree. Okay,
So do you want
so
to
no, I don't want to start.
No, but we can talk about like what the type A, type B,
Okay,
like
okay.
what they are.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, honestly, do you know what they are? Because, I mean, type A, I figure routine, schedule. That's what comes to
The
mind for type A.
the Google says no.
El Google.
um no, but yeah, for sure like I feel like they're the more super structured, right? Everything has to be planned out. Very very organized, I think is one of the key things for type A for sure. They the Google says difficulty relaxing. I feel like those things go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then of type B is more go with the flow, easy going, which Santi is not being right now. Okay, so type B is more like going with the flow and, just not getting stressed out as easily. And also not as organized. Um, and Google actually says but good at multitasking.
Oh,
And
okay.
then,
For type B.
yeah. And then type C, which I've seen a little bit like on TikTok a little bit, is just like they are like detail oriented, but they're not always like their goal isn't always perfection, but they try to get there as much as they can. And it doesn't really say unorganized. It just says like attention to detail. I think they try to pay attention to detail as much as they can, but they're I think the difference is like they're okay if something's not perfect.
Right.
Um yeah, difficulty with confrontation. That's one that I think I don't see on the other ones, but yeah. But I think for the most part the big ones are type A and type B, and then I think type
Right.
C just has a little bit of both, right?
Yeah. 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 And I agree
Okay.
with what you said. I think it has, like, your work personality versus your home personality. It might be like I click off type of thing when I come home and I'm a completely different person. Um, Versus also too as a parent. Like, do you ever really turn off?
Mhm.
So yeah, I'd be curious to see what the Primas think and what they say on type A, B, or C. Or maybe we can like pause really quick and have them guess what type we are and what we would
Yes.
identify ourselves as based off of
Okay.
just these episodes.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
if
know.
you are watching us on L YouTube, write in the comments what comment section like what you think your personality type is. If you know that you're more than one, maybe put that in. Um, and then we'll continue to see which ones we identify with.
Yes, 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 yes. I also was gonna. Do you want me to do the rapid fire that I had put on?
Well, first I
Or
think
wait.
let's do ours, right? What we think we
Okay.
are, and then we can also respond. So we can like say what we think we are, what we feel like, and then do the rapid fire for the primas to answer and ourselves to answer too, and then compare like
I
notes.
like
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So do you want to go first? So what you
Not
are?
really.
Okay.
You can go first.
So I think for if you're an avid listener to the Primas, it's no surprise that I am not an organized person. So I feel like there's been a lot of that kind of talk. And so I feel like for the most part, I am a type B, 100%. The only difference I think that I see here on like the type A, like the actual definition, is like the driven, ambitious, and high achievement, which I feel like in my career, especially when I was teaching. But yeah, so I feel like in that, and like competitive, so I feel like in that space, I'm more type A. But even then, whenever I was taking on like, I always took on a lot of a workload, I feel like at work. But I never strive for it to be perfect. I
Yeah.
feel like I did what, not the bare minimum whatsoever, but I made sure everything was just efficient. I feel like that was my way of doing things. Is I wanted to make sure whatever I was doing was efficient and it just made sense logically.
Yep.
Which I just thought of that, but I saw somewhere here, one of them said, maybe I saw it yesterday, that one of them makes decisions with it being more based on logic than emotion.
Oh
And I
yeah.
feel like that one, I feel like that fell under type C yesterday, but I'm not seeing it here. But anywho, so I feel like that's where I was like in my career
Mm-hmm.
wise, was for the most part I had the characteristics of being ambitious and all of that, but I feel like the way I got it done was definitely type B. Like, and I would
Yeah.
try to help like my teachers with that, be like, look, we just got to go with it, try your best, do what you can do, and keep it pushing. And it was a
Right.
struggle whenever my teachers were type
We're
A
type A.
and
Mm-hmm.
wanted it to be perfect. um and so I feel like that was like a good imbalance,
Yep.
like that they were that way and I was this way, because I feel like, at least, and some of them told me that I did help alleviate some of that stress a lot of times, because a lot of the times they just kind of built it up within themselves, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
um but I still, like I've talked about in other episodes, super just disheveled, but I knew where everything was, organized chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And then now being a mom and in my personal life, super type B. Super type I don't need to have a calendar. I pretty much keep everything, like I know when things are happening in my
It's
head.
so wild to me.
For now, I don't have 3 kids and different activities, or so I say that now. But as far as like, I'm the keeper of events and all the things we have
And
personally,
they're all
like,
here.
yes, they're all here. I have
That's
nothing written down
wild.
anywhere. Nowhere. I just look at the calendar, I look at the date, and I can remember like what we have.
That's crazy.
I don't
Yeah.
know. So that's how I work. And that's just like plans. I don't know. Like, I don't like to make plans in advance. Like, give me a 3 days notice. Of course, and
Yeah.
this is like to hang out. Like, I can do a week or something, but I just feel like things come up all the time, or, I don't know how I'm going to be feeling then, and I don't want to be a flaker. But I
Oof.
do have, and it's so funny because my two best, D and Amy, are like super type A when it comes to that. Like, they need to have me penciled in. I need, like, this needs to happen. So I'm like, okay, guys. So for them, I'm like, I make that exception, right? But um, for me, I'm just go with the flow. Like, that's just the way I
Yeah.
like to roll. Like, there's just, I don't know. I think I get more stressed if I know that there's like a million things planned out ahead of time. I
See, and
don't
I
know.
almost like, okay, so a couple of things come to mind. I feel like I'm around type A people a lot, so I don't know that I
Mm-hmm.
identify super as a type A, but there's certain things that I'm like, I need structure. I need some sort of routine, or I'm going to go crazy. I also
Mm-hmm.
need a calendar, a visible calendar. Even better if I can write it down and color code it.
Yeah.
But I can't keep it all in here because I'm going to forget, and I most
Mm-hmm.
likely do forget things. So I feel like maybe I'm a type A minus. I'm not
Yeah.
an A plus
I can see
person
that.
because I do like my things orderly and like put to a certain way, or
Mm-hmm.
just the household to be a certain way. But I also think like I am very go with the flow, where I don't get stressed out the more I take on. but that
Mm-hmm.
transfers to professionally. I feel like we always have a lot going on, and we've never had, there's been a couple of moments where it's been not as chaotic, and it almost feels like it's not, we're not moving. I don't know, in
Mm-hmm.
the direction that we want to be moving in. So the more chaos the better, but I feel like I thrive in chaos almost.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm an A minus because
Yeah.
I cannot go without a calendar. There's no way I
Mm-hmm.
would function. Even, and like I said, our we got our family calendar, perfect. I
Mm-hmm.
got my work calendar, one color. But I need to be able
Mm-hmm.
to have the same page like as my partner who is not type A, but he is
Yeah.
type A at work. And that's where I think he really did yell. Say, what?
Yeah. And that's not even loud. That's not even loud as it gets.
But
Yeah.
no, I
So
just
you have to
I
keep it in check.
or else I don't even know what we wouldn't be able to keep up with
Yeah.
like the next day or the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I don't know what are the things that you say that or said that come to mind. Oh, like my best friends, I think they're most of them would identify, except for a couple, would identify as type A, and almost too many type A's. It's I already know, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just
Yeah.
y'all do the
So they've got it
planning.
taken out.
They've
Yeah.
got
They got it
exactly,
taken care of.
exactly. So I
Mm-hmm.
think in that instance, I just back off. And two, like
Yeah.
there was so funny whenever we went on vacation with my mom and dad. It was like I wanted to be a kid because my mom and dad are on vacation. I'm on vacation with my mom and dad, but I couldn't because I still had my children. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's funny. That
You still
dynamic
had
is
to
always
make
funny.
decisions.
But that yes, and then it's almost like my mom reverts as like a type B whenever we're together. So then I have to be like, oh, am I going to be a type A right now? Like I wasn't prepared. I was coming to this
Yeah.
vacation not wanting to like do any planning, and now
Yeah.
I'm the one
Yeah.
that's in charge of the planning. I'd rather not.
Yeah. And so my mom is super type A as far as like wanting to know details, right? Like if I even discuss like for instance the birthday party, oh, she already wants to know all the things. And I'm like, whoa, 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 we just got here, slow down. And if we're gonna have like a little family day or something, like what should we bring? What should we cook? What are we having this? What blah, 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 blah. I don't it's just always a lot. And like Easter, like whenever people came over, I was just 1 week postpartum, like what time are we gonna eat? What time are we going to do the Easter egg hunt? What time are I'm like, oh my gosh, can we just live? Can we It's just us. It's literally just us. Like it's just your family. Like it's not a big party, but she needs to know those things, right? And that's how she functions. And what's hilarious is now with Adrian, if he tells me like something's happening at his parents' house, I am like, okay, well, what time do we have to be there? What time? Like, I turn into Dora. I turn into my mom. And I think it's so, I'm like, oh my God, I can never tell her this. Or like in like when we pack to go somewhere, like for the day, I have to be prepared. I have to have 10 outfits for each child because they might get diarrhea 10 times. And like, and that's just Dora instilled that into me as a parent, I think, like now, like
Yeah.
and even I guess when me and Adrian would like have our little trips or day trips or
Mm-hmm.
something, I always
Mm-hmm.
had the Dora bag, I always had the bag that she made, like filled with all the things,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
snacks in case we get hungry, this, that, like all the things. I turn into Dora during those times. Um, and so that part of me is type A. Like I'm always, but the way, okay, so this is what I was thinking about. So my head is type A, thinking of all the things, making sure we have everything we need. But the
Yeah.
way that it gets into the vehicle is type B.
Ooh. Ooh.
And
What
it
do you mean by
drives.
that? What do
So,
you mean by that?
for
You just throw it
example,
in. It
so
comes to your head and you throw it in.
I just throw it in. So I
There's
know,
no
okay,
Tetris.
I have my mental, no, not like that, but I have my
Oh,
mental
okay, okay.
checklist of like what we need, right? And instead of like trying to be super like efficiently packed. When we were going to the pool day, I had the diaper bag, right? And I had a duffel bag. And then I had a third bag that had like my pumping stuff in it. But
Hmm.
in that pumping stuff bag, I also had the fan, the stroller fan. I had extra chupones. I had extra burp cloths. And then in the diaper bag, I just had like that's pretty much always kind of ready to go. And it had like some extra clothes in it, but it was more of like sleepers and like there was like pants. So I'm like, okay, that's in there. That's okay if we're gonna be inside if he needs to go to sleep.
Right.
But if he's outside, he needs onesies. Well, I don't want to make that fit in the diaper bag. So let me just get this duffel bag and just throw onesies in there and a light blanket. And, oh, Antonio might need extra shoes. Let's throw those in. Oh, maybe some socks if he wants to be indoors and the floor's cold. Like that's that I always
Yes.
have now with kids. I find myself with one extra bag that I can just throw whatever in like as it's coming to mind. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and then
That's
Adrian,
actually pretty smart. That's pretty smart.
I mean, because I feel like there's always something that just, if you're not prepared for sure, if something, just, even if you are, I feel something always pops in your head. And then
Yeah.
Adrian starts to pack the goddamn bags because he sees them there. And I'm like, stop pack. I'm like, no, 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 no. You just wrangle Antonio. I was like, I'm still throwing stuff in. And
I have a
And
system.
then yeah, yes. And then he was like, "Oh, are you taking a bag that has like extra clothes?" So like I was like, "It's in the duffel bag." And so he put his extra clothes in there and then packed said bag. And then my clothes weren't even packed yet in there. It was just all the kids' clothes and his clothes. So I had to shove my shirt and shorts into my little pumping bag thing that I had. Um I in that moment I feel like I thought about this episode because I'm like, damn, I'm like so prepared, type A prepared, but the way that I get there is like a hot mess
A hot
express.
mess. Well, you know
Yeah.
what's funny, Ed, too, that now that you're saying that, the pool. Remember how when we would go to the pool,
Yeah.
and you would have that big ass backpack? And
Yes.
then I think
Yes.
you even had an additional bag.
And additional bag, yes.
And mind you,
Yes.
Lifetime has like all that you need. They have the showers there, they have the towels. Like, you don't need to bring anything else.
Yeah.
But she came prepared, and I
And
knew.
I had one kid.
Back. And I think, though, the older the kids get, the less that I was required to take, and I maybe got
Hmm.
used to that. So maybe it shaved off a few of my personality type points for type
Yeah.
A. Then just go with the, oh, we didn't need this much last time, so I'll just veer off in the more B side. But I feel like maybe as a first time mom, even a little bit after, I was always, I don't say I was always prepared, because I was not.
Yeah, no.
I never
I
had
think
the
that's
extra outfits.
Yeah, I think that's just something my mom was like, it's just something she drilled into my head and I will just always. But I think my goal is to prepare more like stuff in the car. Like have
Yeah.
it just live in the car so I don't have to have it in the diaper bag.
Yep.
Because it does make it huge. Like the extra clothes literally because I remember one time you're like, what do you have in that bag? And I'm like, just clothes. It's clothes and there's been a few. Antonio was really bad though at this age of like the blowouts. Maybe I wasn't moving him up in diapers enough. I don't know, but like
Yeah.
we used to like not get him dressed until we got to the function because he would always have a guaranteed blowout.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I think it hasn't really been that much of a blowouter yet, but so I don't know. But I think yeah, for sure. I think when it comes to parenting, my type A, like everything details what we need is like I'm always thinking about that and
Amplified.
not go with the flow. Yes.
Yeah.
But the way I
Yeah.
get there is like I'm not oh well we can just buy it. Like if we no. Mm-mm.
Oh,
We got it at the
yeah.
house, we will be taking it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
I was also thinking like the organizing of play dates, or the organizing of like how,
Mm,
you said Adrian's the organizer of the trips. Like, I have a few friends that come to mind that they're just the organizers of the events and things, and I am just not that person at all.
mm-hmm.
Like, I will take the invitation, and then you tell me when and where to be there. I cannot
Yeah.
organize the function, because then I'm like, well, what do you think about this place? And then what do you think about this place? And then we get sidetracked, and then it can go on for hours before. And then I also think I'm indecisive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is that more of a type B thing?
I don't know.
Because I feel
Let's
like
see
type
what
A,
the Google
you
says. Adaptable. It doesn't know about decisive. That's a good one, but maybe struggle with deadlines, less. Um, but I would think so. I feel like decisive is pretty. But I feel like so like perfectionist is what type A kind of like embodies, right? But I
mm-hmm,
feel like
mm-hmm.
just because you're a perfectionist doesn't makes you even less of a decisive person because you are just consistently trying to make sure you're making the right choice, but you never sometimes you don't know what that is. So you
Yeah.
struggle with making like I always think back to this little girl who total
When you taught.
perfectionist, straight A, yes, when I taught, total perfectionist, straight A student, but she almost failed art because she would not turn in her project because in her mind it wasn't
Um,
perfect.
yeah.
And the art teacher was not mean whatsoever, but she was like, girl, you didn't have this
Yeah.
project for 6 weeks. Like, just turn it in. You're going to do great.
Yeah.
But in her little mind, she's like, it's not where I want it to be. It's not perfect. She's like, it's art. It's not always going to be perfect, you know? And
Yeah.
so that always makes me think of that example of like, like decisiveness and perfectionism don't always go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, but with that to
Yeah.
say, yeah, but and I also think that's part of your like wanting to make sure everybody's happy type of thing. Like
That's
you're
true.
not just thinking
Yeah.
about yourself, you're thinking about like every single person
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
and that's involved. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
True. True.
Yeah.
What
So,
other?
now we can I think oh wait, that's just me. You kind of well, yeah, I guess you kind of dabbled into
Yeah.
are you sure?
I think
So
so.
you've
I mean,
I
I
feel
like my
like
routines. I mean, to this day, I will still forget. Unless I know, like, if we're going somewhere for a few hours, I'm like packed up on the snacks. Like, the snacks cannot,
mhm.
we will have snacks. We will be fed.
Yeah.
But the rest of the things, we might be hot. We might have come back naked. We might come back without chonis if we have a
Yeah.
blowout. We might come back without clothes if we have a blowout. Like, those things are not for some reason packed in the diaper bag because the diaper bag is
Yeah.
already ready to go. So I just grab it and go. But if I know we're going to be somewhere for a long period of time, maybe I'll put a little bit more thought into like, maybe I'll throw an extra clothes in there, but I might forget the shorts.
Yeah.
Like it's not
Yeah.
going to be a full.
Like
Something's going to be missing. Like I was thinking, we have a splash pad that's right here in this little green area, but I just remembered me telling the boys like, "We are gonna sun dry. Like we're going in the same clothes. Take your shoes and socks off, but you're gonna sun dry before you'll get back in the car, or we can dry off as we walk back home, type of thing."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess type
Well,
B in
that's
that
I
scenario.
mean, yeah, and at that age, I mean, it's a little different too. Like, and especially if we're
True.
getting in the car, yeah, we're gonna have. But if we're walking, we can sun dry. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I just
the
feel
extra
like I'm
clothes
type
will
A when
always
it
be
comes to
there.
the snacks.
Yeah.
So I like him to be organized. No.
Uh, so your rapid fire for the
Okay.
Primas. Let's
If it
see.
comes to mind, or what other things come to mind after I say these things, but the few that I have written down um, to help you identify what type of, personality type you are. Um, To-do list or mental checklist? Crazy to me. Wake up early or snooze until chaos? Yeah. Do you feel like that's a personality type decipher?
Oh, yeah.
I think so. Me too, me too. Um, Schedule a play date or just show up? If you are going to group people into a group text, are you the one to send the group text or do you mute the group text? Color coded calendar or what's a calendar? That is wild to me. Your idea of relaxing is cleaning and organizing.
Ew. Yeah.
See, and I like that cleaning and organizing, but I don't like that. Wouldn't be my idea of relaxing.
Yeah. It's just like it like needs to be done in order for you to relax.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
not
exactly.
me. Not I. I will just get to it another day.
Not looking at it. No, I even like have the boys train like before we go to sleep. All common areas will be cleaned
Mm-hmm.
up before we
Yeah,
at
no, that
least.
for sure. My common areas, like I said, is always, but my personal areas, they personal, okay?
I don't know what other ones come to mind. Did those? Oh, diaper. I mean, what other things come to mind? Play. I have my drink,
um,
but I didn't spill too much.
I mean, I feel like for play dates, I would just love to show up, but I feel like a lot of people that would like the play dates have to have it like super planned out.
Yeah,
Um, but I mean, other things.
I think like birthday party planning, like how you were saying earlier,
Uh-huh.
the
Oh yeah,
type
you're
of.
definitely type B when it
Oh
comes to
God,
birthday.
are we gonna have a birthday party? Who knows? You
Yeah.
might find out the weekend before.
Yeah,
Oh,
and no, for sure. And I'm like more type A, I guess, with that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm all over the place.
well, and then I'm
I
like, the
Go
the
ahead.
birthday party. I'm like, well, what do you want to do? And then I ask just to get an idea of what he's feeling. What, and then he'll say something, and I'm like, okay, that's a great idea. But wouldn't you rather like just hang out at the park? You just ask him to come to the park. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually. And I'm like, okay, great,
Yeah.
done. I don't know.
Yes. Well, that's a little. I mean, once they're a little bit older, well, just like us, at first we weren't gonna do anything. We were just like, well, we're just doing a trip. But then we're like, well, he has so many little friends, and it's so nice getting everybody together to like hang out and this. And but we do not want it at the house. Like we're like
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
not. Especially if we're gonna be going away. In like 2 weeks later. I know he's moving. I know he's okay. Antonio's napping right now. Um. But so now we've planned that, and like he was like, we need to get those sent out ASAP, and it's like a month till like now officially. Um, but I think for like planning, I am type A. But once like the thing gets there, once we're moving and grooving, then I'm like go with the flow. Like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna be like we have to do this at this time and this at this time and the cake, even though I feel like I do it more so with my mom is like when are
Wants
we
to
gonna do
know.
the cake? When are we gonna
Yeah.
do this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Rosie's the same way.
Hold on, let me see if I can get him to go back night night. He just sprang up. Okay. Um, but yeah, so I think definitely the muddy waters, but I think the way for the most part I will identify as type B because yeah, I think I'm just an organized mess.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
But I also think too, like I'm a different. I feel like I'm type A whenever it comes to my partner, like because he's so type. I don't know. He's type A
True.
like there's certain scenarios where I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I need to know these things before you need to put
Mhm.
them on the calendar, and I'm like, who
Yeah.
is she? Why does she say that? But
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm like, if you need to go on that trip, then I need to know about it in the beginning of the year.
Yes.
Type of thing. We need to
I
budget.
need a quarterly notice.
Yeah. We need to mentally prepare for that.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
I don't know if type B, like if you could call it unbothered, because I feel like I'm bothered by a lot. So I don't truly go on the type of unbothered, go with the flow, but there's certain things that do flow,
Yeah.
but there's certain things that
Yeah.
don't.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like for the most part you're type A, just not like an anal type A.
Yeah, yeah. Or when I sense another type
Yeah, because
A,
that's
I will back. I
yeah.
will back off and let them.
Yours just for your bubble. I think yours just for
Yes.
your
Oh, that's a
bubble
good.
and
Yeah,
like your family. Yeah.
yeah.
Because you're not trying to like you're not a control like you don't need control over everything.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like I just need to know what's happening.
Yeah.
And yours even for your family is not for control purposes. It's just like I just need to know what's happening so that I'm prepared or I can do XYZ.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think once we get there, like then a calendar will be a thing. But I remember even like my work calendar, just seeing all the color codes and everything. But I was like, turn it off. But not for you, but for
I know,
like
I
at
know.
work, like
Yeah.
whenever yeah, at the school, because that's when really it was just everywhere. And it was so funny. We're at Nacho's on Monday, and Jenny got one of those, like, it looks like a picture frame, but
Skylight?
it's a calendar.
Did she get the skylight
Not,
one?
it's an off-brand, no, it's an off-brand one, but it's really nice. It's still, she's like, you can still sync Google and Apple calendars. You can, or you can just use their interface from, like, the app or on there. It's really, really nice. She's like, and it was really not, I guess she didn't know, and I couldn't remember the name brand, but it looks just like that one. Yeah,
okay, the
I
only
remember
reason
somebody
why I
submitted
like it is because whenever, I mean, I keep getting the ads now, and they know I need it. Yeah. They know. Because my calendar on my fridge is not doing it. But, like, for example, right now, in the summertime, I think it would be perfect because John's always like, can I go do this? Can I go do this? And I'm like, no, we're not going to do all of these things. These are the things that I want done before you can even go and do whatever it is that you want to do. Some type of thing. Mm-hmm. Does hers have that option?
Yes, yes. She has the chores, the checklist. Yeah, she has, and Neela likes to go check the things.
Oh, I bet it'd be super satisfying.
So yeah, it has all that. And she was showing me, she was like, this is mine, this is Nacho's, this is our family one, everything's color-coded. Yeah, because she's like, you know, she has meetings, Neela has this, she's like, so we naturally those baseball, golf, all the things.
Oh my God.
I'll have to, it was her Mother's Day gift, so I'll have to see if she can let me know which one it was, because she's like, and it looked really nice, and then you can, and it looks like a picture frame if you just want does she have it on the picture wall? To be on there. She has it on a little bookshelf, so it looks like a standing thing, but I think it has the option to hang, if I'm not mistaken.
You'll have to send me that link.
Yes. Well, Primas, let us know which personality type you fall under, if you feel like you are mixed and jumbled. I feel like, I guess, for the most part, you will pull one way or the other for the, but there are certain instances where we have to pull out the different personality types. So yeah, let us know in the comments what personality type you think you are. And I think that's all we got for today.
So. Yeah. Santi, he just wants you to hold him.
Get ready, because I know, he's like knocked out. Look at his little bald spots. It's like, because he likes to be on that side. Look out, Love Island is coming. It starts today, I think.
No.
I think I want to let some stack up first.
Oh, absolutely. Not today. Yeah. Today's the 29th. I thought it was in June.
I thought so too, but I feel like I saw someone that said tomorrow. But maybe it's something else.
Tomorrow night.
Because I remember seeing June 3rd.
I thought I saw, something in June. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely letting some stack up. But we won't spoil it for you, Primas.
Yes.
We might have like a mid-season, a little breakdown. Because we have to talk. We're going to have to talk to somebody about these episodes.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all the next time because, duty calls.
Yes. Adios, Primas.
Adios.
Bye.